Hey, welcome to the Art of Relationship show, people. Hopefully everybody is doing okay. And what is going on? Let me check a few settings, people, before before I kick the show off a little bit. Hopefully everybody is doing okay. And I want people to be able to hear. And like I said, I want to check a few settings and to be able to make sure everything is going okay. So I appreciate your patience, people. And let me just check a few things. There we go. Okay, appreciate your patience, everybody. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. And again, hopefully everybody's doing okay. Let everybody tune in. Today, going to be talking about a very fun, but also debated topic about self-pleasuring, about masturbation, okay? And hopefully this goes through and TikTok doesn't ban it or anybody else. So before we kick off the show, I want to appreciate you joining the Art of Relationship show. And while we kick off, people are getting ready to tune in. We'll let people join in a little bit. Hey, Joe, Debbie, what's going on? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Cindy, Claire, what's happening? So as we get people kicking off, I'm going to kick off the intro, so don't go anywhere. Be right back, okay? There we go. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. Had a little bit of tech problems as we kicked off, so I was tripping over my tongue. Again, hopefully everybody's doing okay. Excuse me. And as we talk about, masturbation, self-pleasure, there's a lot of debate out there, and I get a lot of people out there, myths about self-pleasuring, all that, and I'm going to get into that. Plus also the health benefits, the physical and the emotional or mental benefits from self-pleasuring, okay? And we're going to talk about a few other topics as well. So chime in down below, people. This is a live Q&A, so get your questions ready, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. I'm your host, as always. I'm Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, LPC, here in Detroit, Michigan, and I have been specializing in couples and sex, if you will, intimacy, for almost 23 years now. It'll be 23 years in August, so it's getting there. And I have a lot of grief, a lot of trauma experience. I also used to work with kids, teens with severe trauma. I've worked with a ton of women, rape survivors as well, and I'm always flattered. Me being a man, I'm very, very, very flattered by that. So I'm going to kick off about self-pleasuring masturbation. There's a lot of people that get off, no pun intended, right, that get off. But looking at those situations, they view self-pleasuring as cheating, believe it or not. And I'm here to clarify, self-pleasuring, masturbation is not cheating, period. No one has a right to hold your body hostage against your will type of situation, okay? So let me clarify that. Professionally speaking, it is not cheating if you self-pleasure or masturbate. Plain and simple, okay? Now, if you are self-pleasuring, with, say, a live video chat, that could be deemed as cheating based on the rules that you have with your partner in your relationship or in your marriage, okay? And no one deems it other than you. You two, you and your partner, wife, husband, that type of stuff, girlfriend, boyfriend, they are the ones that deem it. You make the rules for you, what deems as cheating, what is deemed as betrayal, other than, I'm going to be real, self-pleasuring. You think of having, sex, having intimacy with your partner. and you're self-pleasuring. Great, awesome. That's not cheating. And I'm going to go, there's a lot of people that still think, Greg, he shouldn't be doing it. She shouldn't be doing this, okay? Because, let's face it, you know what? They're cheating on me. Masturbation, self-pleasuring is cheating. No, it is not, other than in the context I mentioned earlier, okay? So, now, it becomes an issue when your partner or you would rather self-pleasure than be intimate with your partner, and they want sex. They want intimacy with you. And, looking at what is going on, excuse me, what is making you want to self-pleasure more than have intimacy sex with your partner, then that's an issue, right? If you have a willing partner, able, willing, they have, maybe a healthy desire, high level desire, whatever, that means for each individual or partnership, and their partner would rather self-pleasure than be intimate with them, then that is an issue in the relationship or marriage. And we know, in this field, sex counseling and stuff, desire discrepancy is probably one of the most common things. However, it is also one of the most difficult to be able to treat, to handle, to be able to help couples with, especially when they are on different extremes, where one person wants to be intimate, say, once every 6 months, and their partner, male, female, doesn't matter, right, wants to be intimate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, okay? And that becomes an issue, and you have, I call them educated idiots in this field, that try to get people to compromise. You can't. When it's that diverse, that big of a gap, you can't. And that's where, especially, say, with self-pleasuring, which we're talking about, your partner wants to be intimate with you once every 6 months, 4 months, whatever. And then they tell you, what, you're cheating on me if you self-pleasure or you masturbate. No, it's not cheating. We already covered that. Then we look at they're trying to hold you hostage and maybe belittle, demean you for having higher desire. On the converse of that, there's people that have higher desire that bash their partner for having low desire or a lot lower desire, okay? And this is a situation where I want people to understand, I don't want the bashing. I don't want the degrading. We can look at what's causing and what's going on in those situations, but that might be for another episode. Again, throw your questions down below, people. Anything I can do to help, throw them in the chat. Hey, Richard, what's going on? I appreciate everybody tuning in on Instagram and, wherever you're listening, live, TikTok, Facebook, those type of situations. Hey, Stacy, Sonia, what's happening? Mel, woohoo, what's happening? So, when it comes to self-pleasuring, there are a lot of benefits going up there, right? As, related to intimacy, sex in general, right? Physical benefits, we know oxytocin kicks off. We can get endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. So self-pleasure also can get rid of, or not maybe get rid of, but reduce pain levels, muscle aches. Women actually might benefit if they're having menstrual cramps. They might benefit from, self-pleasuring or even intimacy with a partner can reduce the significant cramps or pain from cramps with, endorphins, the body's natural painkiller kicks up from, orgasm, from intimacy, from sex, the endorphins, the mood enhancer, if you will, oxytocin kicks off as well. So those are some physical benefits that you can get from, self-pleasuring, that type of situation. So there are also benefits, the mental aspect and physical. Part of physical and mental is improved sleep, right? Some people, their brain won't shut down. So if they self-pleasure or be intimate, it helps that brain calm down a little bit and be able to sleep. So those are some benefits from that, where a lot of people might not look at that situation. And like I said earlier, some people get very jealous of their partner, and, you know, they take it like it's a, what do I want to say, that they're getting degraded, they're not good enough if their partner self-pleasures versus be intimate with them. And I'll get into that as well. So we talked about, you know, the pain relief aspects from self-pleasuring and, you know, sex in general, improve sleep, but also self-pleasuring, you know, the physical elements with self-pleasuring and orgasm for both men and women can help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, the muscle structures in those situations, okay? So the more, you know, the stronger they are, you can actually relax them more, where you can obtain more pleasure from intimacy and self-pleasuring. So with self-pleasuring and sex, of course, can also strengthen the pelvic floor muscle system that's going on in your body. Join in down below, people. Throw your chat. If you have any questions, any, you know, comments, let me know. Throw them down there, and I'll do the best I can. And a disclosure I make every episode, you know, the answers I give, I'll do the best I can to help you out. But this does not, the Art of Relationship show in this format does not, you know, replace actual professional counseling. Let's face it, due to HIPAA guidelines, privacy, being anonymous, that type of situation, I can't guarantee it in this format, okay? Plus, you know, little history, biopsycho history, what's going on in that situation, I don't know. So I want to give the best information I can to help you out, help your relationship, help your marriage out, or if people single out there, let's face it, self-pleasuring can also help improve, you know, confidence level, like I said, also your mood, your energy level, and it also can help you, you know, enhance, you know, the mental state as well as the physical state type of aspects, okay? And there are studies out there that show that, you know, self-pleasuring actually might help, you know, build immune system energies and power, right? Because when we feel better, we're in a better mood, better mental state, and also physical, you know, the muscle orgasm aspects, oxytocin, and endorphins can help feed off sickness. Believe it or not, that's true, okay? There's been some research out there that substantiates that, those aspects, okay? So, you know, not only that, but we talk about, you know, it can improve our mood, right? With the oxytocin and the endorphins, that type of situation, serotonin levels can be increased through self-pleasure and those type of aspects, okay? And again, with regular ejaculation for us men, can help reduce the possibility of prostate cancer and prostate issue. So it can also improve prostate health in men. Now you're going to have men, we need to have sex because it will, you know, get rid of the risk of prostate cancer, right? But you can do that with self-pleasuring if you don't have a willing participant. Now, and I've said this on many episodes, right? I never, ever want someone to be intimate or have sex with someone they don't want to have sex with. I don't want anybody to be, you know, demeaned, degraded, belittled, criticized, guilt tripped, coerced, manipulated into having sex with them. So if anyone does that, I want you to have the confidence enough to say no. And if they beg and plead, still say no if you are not in the mood. You know what? You tell them, you don't care about what I'm going through. It's selfish that it's all about you. Be right. Be real. You know what? Don't be afraid. And there's a lot of people out there, and let's face it, over history, you know, in society with women, you know, feeling guilty, feeling guilt-tripped about being the nurturer, and they feel guilty that they need to have sex. No, you don't, okay? So I want people to promote self-love and self-respect out there as well. Not only that, with self-pleasuring and masturbation, I tell people all the time about, you know, how do you please yourself can enhance your self-awareness about your own sexuality, what feels good to you, and what works to bring you sexual fulfillment, orgasm, if that's what you look for. And it doesn't have to be all about, goal-oriented. And I done an episode, check it out on YouTube at LoveGuruGreg. You can check out all my shows, all my episodes. When I talk about, goal-directed sex, how many people are out there, and they look at it's all about goal-directed just to have an orgasm. And a lot of people joke around, right? Greg, what's the point if you're not, right? But it's also about connecting with your partner, being intimate emotionally, mentally, not just physically. So those type of avenues, and I want people to understand and to be able to look at those aspects. So going back to, masturbation, self-pleasuring can bring self-awareness. What makes you feel good intimately, as far as, let's face it, strokes, the speed, the pressure, softer, firmer, what feels the best for you? Where do you want to be touched? How you want to be touched? Like I mentioned, and you can teach your partner. So self-pleasuring can be a huge guide, a huge tool, if you will, to promote pleasurable sexual experiences. You can teach your partner, what do you like? How do you want to be touched? Touch me here, taste me, lick me like this, that type of situation. And this goes for both male and female people, right? It's not gender bias. And a lot of people look at, men do this, but women don't. Yes, women do that, okay? How much does your job define you as a person? You know what? That's a good question. I think that is based on one's individual. For some people, I think the job defines them. It's a huge part of their identity, okay? Me, I'm going to be honest, it's a huge part of my identity. What I do, I want to help people, right? And I joke around, sense of humor, that type of thing. But I'm also very compassionate, have a lot of empathy. I can be direct. So I who I am as a person helps me, help people, if that makes sense. So how does my job define me as a person? It's a big part of who I am as a person. But my personality is no different than working with couples, working with clients, than it is out in general public, to be honest with you. I'm comfortable in my own skin. But for some people, if they need to be a total different person on the job than they are in real life in a public setting. And we know this, right? We see it with politicians. We see it with maybe CEOs, CFOs of companies. We might see it with, bedside manner with physicians, other medical professionals, that type of situation. So I think that's a very individualistic question, and hopefully I answered that as best as I can. A lot of people look at their job as their only identity. That's sad. I don't want that to be. We have a lot more to our identity, right, than our job. It could be, being married in a relationship, being a partner, being a son or daughter, being a parent, right? Being a mother, father, I mentioned. It could be being a friend, being a volunteer, being athletic, being book smart, being our interests of our identity. So I think it depends on the individual. I look at a holistic view, our identity. Most people's identity, they only look at it's, I only see myself as a mother and maybe I'm a dentist too, and that's it. But they don't look at, I could be a friend as well. I could be funny. I could be hilarious. I can be, very compassionate. I can be very logical. That could be a part. So hopefully that answers your question. And I would ask, does your identity, is it based on, your job and what you do, being, a husband, wife? Is that your only identity? I don't think so. So a lot of people, I want to help people sort of expand their mental awareness and how they view themselves as well, okay? So going back to self-pleasure and the self-awareness, right? Those type of situations. So that's where I want people to be able to look at that. It can also enhance your sexual relationships. It can help bring you pleasure by knowing what you like. It can also give you, with self-pleasure, can give you the confidence to know, confidence with your own body, confidence with your own, being comfortable in your own skin regarding sexuality and those type of situations. And I know it's different with those situations with self-pleasuring than it is with a partner, right? Would be as a partner, I don't have to worry about my body image aspect, but with a partner, I do. And self-pleasuring, when we're, like I said, it can reduce stress as well, big time, that we don't have to worry about a partner, pleasing a partner. We don't have to worry about performance issues when we're self-pleasuring, right? Am I going to last long enough? Am I good enough? Am I going to last too long? Am I going to be hard enough? All those situations, and those might be relative to men, but also to women too. If I don't reach orgasm, he's going to be upset. She's going to be upset. So those situations that come back with self-pleasuring can be a huge stress reducer in our life, and it can be very healthy along with the other health attributes that I mentioned, emotional, mental, and definitely physical. Like I said, with the pain reducing aspects, with kicking up the endorphins, the oxytocin, those type of situations can help those avenues, okay? How many people out there, I'd like to ask this, how many people out there have an issue or with their partner self-pleasuring, or their partner has an issue with you self-pleasuring? I won't mention any names. Like I said, I respect people being anonymous, and I tell people on every episode, if you don't want me to mention your name in the chat or whatever, let me know, okay? Or I usually say, excuse me, as I had a sip of coffee, if you give me permission to use your name, I will. Terrific. But I want people to be, anonymous and respect their privacy and everything too in a social platform like this, okay? Let's see how many people out there. I would love, because I have people out there. I've had clients over the years. Greg, he doesn't need to self-pleasure. He doesn't need to masturbate. He has my mouth. He has my hand. He has my vagina. I won't use the P word. I swear anyways, but that's me. I tell people I'm not the professional elitist by any means, but yeah, people, he doesn't need to. He has, but when it comes down to stress reduction, that's what I tell about our own ego and pride when maybe our partner self-pleasures, and it's all about your own ego, pride, your maybe view of yourself, meaning I'm not good enough, right? I'm not sexy enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not good enough in bed. That's why my partner masturbates or self-pleasures, okay? So that's where a lot of people, there's a lot of myths out there, a lot of mistakes, and that people assume one thing or another. And that's where I want people to be able to talk about, what the view is, why they self-pleasure, why they might self-pleasure more than be intimate with a partner. And again, it could be, exhaustion. It could be desire discrepancies between the couple. There's a lot of aspects out there that people they assume based on their own self-worth, their own self-concept, if you will, and they start bashing their partner for self-pleasuring. Like I said, with couples, how I handle, no pun intended, how I handle couples, or what I start with, if, one person would rather self-pleasure and have intimate relations with their partner, then that's an issue, right? And again, it's looking at, Greg, I'm willing, I want to have sex quite a bit, but he self-pleasures more than wants to be intimate with me. And let's face it, it hurts our ego, right? It hurts, man, you don't find me attractive, you don't love me, I don't turn you on, I don't please you. All those things that hit our insecurities, right? And we all have insecurities. Me, I'm sure you do out there as well. So that's where I look at those situations. Hey, Brandy, what's happening? What's going on? It's been a while. I hope you're doing all right. So those type of things, when it comes to self-pleasuring, it attacks our ego, our insecurities, right? And especially with sexuality, is probably one of the things that really goes after our insecurities the most, okay? That, am I good enough? Am I pleasuring my partner? In those type of situations, does my partner really desire me, or is it an obligation for them? And where self-pleasuring masturbation sort of takes that away. We don't have to worry about a partner. We don't have to worry about the pressures of pleasing, the pressure of being good enough, being sexy enough, those type of situations. Now, I look at what I can do to help people be more intimate together, to have sexual fulfillment, whatever that means for them as a couple, and also, let's face it, as an individual aspect. But it comes down to, if two people have totally two different views on sexuality, what it represents, as I miss my finger, what it represents, what the values of intimacy are, what your morals are. Not only that, but what your what do I want to say, styles of intimate relations you want to have, frequency we mentioned, right? It's going to be very, very difficult for that relationship or marriage to be sustainable. And I'm honest. I tell people, I'm very honest, not to put pressure on people, but to get people talking openly and compassionately about what is sex to them, what is self-pleasuring, what works for you. And this is where I want people to understand in the relevance of this topic, self-pleasuring, okay? And, if there's people out there, how many people out there as well? I haven't got any. People might be a little shy. I know it's Danielle, what's happening? What's going on, people? And that's where a lot of people, I know it's shy. They don't want to comment. And I get some people are all over. I'm open. I'll tell people I masturbate every day, I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying I get people, on an everyday basis. I do this. It helps. I can't sleep, so I self-pleasure, like one of the benefits I mentioned earlier. Oh, and real quick, people, check out, I forgot to mention, I have $30 off my self-help, relationship self-help courses now. So they're on sale for $47. That's it, cheap. I have a lot of videos on each one, exercises, comments, videos, techniques, strategies that can help you with each course. And they are healing after an affair, premarital relationship course, and also a reviving your relationship aspect. So all three of them, they're on sale, $47 a piece, $30 off. Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org, and use the coupon code LOVE. That's it, all caps, LOVE. And at checkout, you get $30 off, okay? And any questions, you can go to my website again, email me, any comments you have on the question I get. I had a question, hey, Greg, what is the difference, the benefits between, the self-help courses versus, counseling, marriage or couples counseling you do? Well, the couples counseling, it can be a lot more individualized to each couple, that type of situation. I'm honest, okay? Where you have more, I'm able to, see, witness, hear you more, where the self-help courses, they provide you a lot of great insights and tips, but it can be, you have to use it more specifically geared towards your situation, your personality, your temperaments, that type of situation. Hopefully that makes sense. So the self-pleasuring aspects, a lot of benefits. And like I said, I'm honest, there can be some negative ones if your partner or you would rather self-pleasure than be intimate with a willing partner, okay? I'm going to say this again. I do not want anyone having sex with anyone they don't want to. Plain and simple. Okay? I'm all about self-love, self-respect, no coerciveness, no manipulation, no guilt trip, that type of situation. Okay? Now, stepping away from self-pleasuring, how many people look at the positive in your relationship, okay, in your marriage? How many actually look at the positive things about your partner, okay? This is, a caveat to maybe a separate topic, if you will. How many people, it's easy. I ask people all the time in the first session, what do you like or love about your partner, okay? And they're like caught like a deer in a headlight, right? They want me to ask, what do you hate about your partner? Because, man, we'll be here for hours and hours and hours. That's easy, right? Negative, if it's human nature looking at negativity, if it's social media, if it's the news looking at, all the negative aspects out there instead of the positive. That's why I ask. But a lot of people take it for granted, and we don't look at the positive traits of our partner. We get into bashing, ripping each other, degrading, criticizing, nagging, right? If we have an issue, hey, I'd like you to be able to help out more. Hey, I'd like you to be more affectionate instead of you suck, you are terrible. You get me? But do you look at and appreciate the positive aspects of your partner? Maybe they're a great cook. Maybe they're a great mom, a great dad. Maybe they bust their butt to pay bills. Maybe they do the yard work terrific. Maybe the way they do laundry. There's got to be something that is good and positive about your partner. And when you start recognizing those attributes, guess what happens? They're going to feel good about themselves. They're going to feel good about you and start increasing the benefits in your relationship, right? Because people are drawn to, I'm going to be honest, we are drawn to, as people, we're drawn to people typically that make us feel good about ourselves. And that could be, our brain power, how we are as a person. Hey, Nicole, what's happening? What's going on? So those are things that you look at. So when you start looking and noticing the positive attributes in your partner, they're going to feel good about themselves, hopefully, right? And it's going to start building that bridge to reach you back together and get you more connected that I talk about, mind, body, heart, and soul, and looking at those aspects, okay? So start looking at the positive attributes in your partner, and you're going to see a shift in your relationship. Your partner might not be used to it. Maybe you're not used to it, and you're going to say, whoa, what, are you high? Are you drunk? What do you mean? You never mention anything positive. You know what? Tell your partner. I hope they tell you, right? Hey, I want to start looking at the positive. I want to start doing things differently. I want to be better for you, and I want to look at and appreciate the good things about you. Why don't we look at the good things about each other? And I tell people that in my office, right here. So, hey, Kelly Ray, what's happening? I appreciate you. Pedro, I appreciate you tuning in as well. So start looking at, the positive in each other. And I know it's very difficult when there's a lot of negativity, right? When it's that tit for tat building up. When, you don't feel loved, your partner don't feel loved, and all of a sudden you start bashing and ripping on each other. I want you to start looking at the positive aspects in your relationship, in your marriage, in your partner. And there's got to be something. I'm not saying that one positive trait in your partner is going to make the relationship or marriage all of a sudden 100% better. No, but it's a start. It's looking at, those type of aspects so we can shift our mindset a little bit and try to look at the positives, right? And we all know, I'm not talking about adding up all the positive and negatives like a lot of people in this field look at, and I shake my head. Yeah, I'm very critical of people in this field. They'll look at, add up all the positive, add up all the negative. You only have 2 negatives, but you have 100 positives, so ignore all the negative. No, you don't. It's not the amount of the positive things, the good things. It's the weight of them. It's the importance of them. You know, you could have 100 positive aspects. I want you to look at those. But what if the negatives are, right? You're getting cheated on all the time. You're getting abused on a daily basis. You get me? So no amount of positive are going to or should erase those. But we're not talking those extremes. We're looking at just noticing the positive in your relationship, why we work on the things that can be improved, that need to stop, that can be enhanced in your relationship, okay? So play this back, share this on your timeline, people, about the benefits, emotional, mental, we talked about, physical, of masturbation, the mental aspects about it, what it represents, and also what problems does it create in your relationship, okay? Like I said, the biggest one that I deal with is when someone would rather self-pleasure than be intimate with their willing partner. Then that creates a huge issue, and we have to look at what's going on. Like I said, masturbation, self-pleasure is not cheating, okay? Now, how you're doing it, right, with another person, that might be deemed as cheating, depending on the rules in your relationship or marriage, okay? So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, follow me. Like I said, the easiest way probably to check out I got a lot of episodes over the years, is on YouTube at LoveGuruGreg. You can check me out on every social media platform at LoveGuruGreg as well. And my website, again, with the discount code of LOVE for $30 off my courses, is theartofrelationships.org, people. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everybody taking your time to watch and hopefully learn. And hopefully I can provide tips that will enhance your relationship, your marriage, and also help you enhance your self-worth and self-respect, okay? Peace and love, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Oop. Bye-bye, everybody.